Hi guys, Christine L. Saunders here, aka daughter of Poseidon 1290, and I am going to talk to you about Avatar The Last Airbender. I will be doing a video of my reaction to the pictures from Percy Jackson, but today I am talking about the live action, comparing the season 2 of the live action to season 2 of the animation of Avatar The Last Airbender, and what episodes are in each episode. Starting off with the very first episode of season 2, which is episode 1, which is called Somewhere Safe, which, as I said, is kind of like the whole point of that story. They're trying to find they find the refugees at the beginning, and I must admit I will do a review on the season the series as a whole, both season 1 and season 2, and I'm like, oh, I'm a fan. I've become a fan. I actually did a watch last week of the whole season 1 to 3 of the animation of Avatar, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see where they're coming from. And I will be doing episodes from In the Room, and it'll be named In the Writer's Room. So I'll be comparing each episode from Percy Jackson to Avatar to The Last Airbender, to actually compare each episode individually to say this is why I think they went this way and stuff like that. Season 3 is coming out on the 20th of November, which I am looking forward to, and I will do a separate video for that. But today we are talking about Avatar The Last Airbender season 2 episode 1 to 7 and comparing them to the episodes. So we're going to put how many episodes. So in total there's 7 episodes of the live action, 20 episodes of the animation, and I am going to tell you what episodes are in each episode of the live action from the animation. And trust me, they've used certain episodes that were missed in season 1. They've moved into season 2, which I think is a really good thing. So episode 1 of season 2 of the live action is called Somewhere Safe. It includes episode 1, the Avatar State, episode 2, the Cave of Two Lovers, very end part with Iroh and Zuko heading off. Episode 3, Return to Umashu. Episode 12 and 13, which is the Serpent's Past and the Drill. There are scenes from each episode in that episode. Then you got season 1 episode 8, the Avatar Roku. 7, season 1 episode 14, the Fortune Teller, and season 3 episode 3, the Painted Lady. Can I just point out, they've removed certain bits which wouldn't make sense, because obviously they were just, remember, animation is different from live action. They can't bring stuff from animation to live action because basically, unless you have a camera on top of their head 24/7, you cannot do they have to do so much. And plus, I am going to point out, Gordon was under 16. He was just 15 when he started filming these episodes. So he was the same age as Ganadia was in the first season. So basically he had limited amount of time on set, which he has actually said he did some days. It's only because they've got a child working law in Hollywood. So basically it's like the HBO series works out. They only had 90 minutes each for each scene. So you think about it, and plus they're they're doing a lot of flips and backflips and stuff like that. You can't always get what you want. So yes, they've taken snippets from, like, scenes from the animation, different episodes, into that episode and pushed them together to make it flow, to see what one's flown. Yes, they've added stuff to make it make sense. They've done, the reason why I said the Avatar state, it had the beginning where Katara is training Aang to do water bending and stuff. You see that when Katara is telling the story at the beginning, the very opening. You actually see a montage of her training Aang, and they did have a young Aang in those snippets. They hired a young Aang who comes in a bit later on in the season. And so yes, so they have the Cave of Two Lovers is the very end of the Cave of Two Lovers, where Iroh and Zuko go their separate ways. That is what I'm saying. That is from the Cave of Two Lovers. So let's go on to season 2, episode 2, which is A Fight Once Begun. Now this is the ultimate first time you see Toph sort of meeting. Obviously you have the return to Mushu, which obviously there's snippets from that episode in there. They don't use the whole episode because you can't do that, otherwise it'll take 25 minutes to do the whole episode. Then you've got episode 5, which is Avatar Day. You'll understand why they took that out, but they used some of the writing and some of the script from, like, certain quotes from the animation episode to this episode. So yeah. Then you got episode 6, The Blind Bandit, which obviously you meet Toph. I liked the version. I liked the little twist. I like how Katara, you can see that Katara cares for Aang's emotional state. So she acts as his grounded personnel, emotional support. So it also has Zuko alone, episode 7. Episode 1, the Avatar state is back. Episode 9, bitter work. There's, as I say, these are scenes, set scenes from certain episodes to this episode. Episode 8, The Chase. Episode 15, Tales of Ba Sing Se. And then episode 18, The Earth King. Now, bear in mind, this is the only episode that has episodes entirely from season 2 of the animation. The others have snippets from other seasons in there to make it sound more sense. Then you've got season 2, episode 3, City of Walls and Secrets. Obviously, this is the only episode of the live action that actually has the same title as an episode from the animation. So it's entirely based on episode 14, City of Walls and Secrets, when they get to Ba Sing Se. I actually liked how they got to Ba Sing Se, where they went, like, they got taken and he's trying to rescue, they separate and stuff like that. So that I actually like. And then obviously you've got episode 13, which is The Drill. Episode 12, The Serpent's Pass. Yet again, it has certain scenes from those episodes in that episode. The Drill obviously is them getting to Ba Sing Se and getting in. And obviously with Azula and Ty Lee and May, they come as dressed as the Kyoshi warriors. I can't pronounce it. I am so sorry. Then you have episode 18, the Earth King. Obviously, this is where they go to more of a introduction to the Earth King, and you see they go to a party, which is similar to what they've done, and that's where you get the Aang and the Katang moments. There are a ton of Katang moments in this season, and yes, I read between the lines, and then obviously you've got season 3, episode 3, the Painted Lady. Obviously that's when you first meet the Painted Lady after she helps young kids get better. Then you got episode 15, Tales of Ba Sing Se. Season 1, episode 15, Batu of the North. As I said, only clips, only certain scenes from that episode joined together. Episode 5, Avatar Day. Episode 8, The Chase. Episode 9, Bitter Work. And episode 11, The Desert. You'll understand where I'm coming from if you actually watch it. I will put this on whatever. I will type it up. Then you've got season 2, episode 4, The Waterfalls, The Stones Emerge. Now this is the one where it has the montage of Bitter Work from episode 9, Bitter Work, where Aang learns about these scenes, these learns about earthbending and trains with Toph. And then obviously you've got season 3, episode 3, which is the Painted Lady. Obviously that's in the montage. Season 1, episode 13, The Blue Spirit. That's also within the montage. Well, that's also part of it. Season 2, episode 5, Avatar Day. Episode 8, The Chase. Episode 18, The Earth King. And then obviously you've got the Tales of Ba Sing Se, which is Uncle Iroh. I loved how they worked it. I loved that it was 16 days of pure training. Yes, I counted all the paper that Sokka actually wrote. So I still haven't got a favourite episode, unlike Percy Jackson, where season 2, episode 4 is my favourite, and then obviously season 1, episode 5 is my favourite. So yeah, is it 5 or 6? I think it's 5. And then obviously season 2, episode 5 is now 10,000 Things. Trust me, it has a lot of stories entwined into it. And I like the episode 10, which is the library. That set design was amazing, especially when the actress who plays Toph actually mentioned behind the scenes that they had someone physically roll those scrolls for those scenes, a bit like how they did with Harry Potter, and they had someone create all those letters. So it includes episode 11, The Desert, which is when Appa gets taken. Obviously everything's set in Ba Sing Se, probably because you can't really have an actress wearing bare feet on an actual desert. And fair dues in that sort of heat, nah. They're youngsters. Come on. Episode 16, Appa's Last Days. Yes, is it Last Days? Lost Days? Can't remember. Can't read my writing. Season 3, episode 3, obviously it has the Painted Lady. Season 1, episode 13, the Blue Spirit. Episode 1, the Avatar State. Obviously you have all the avatars come in, and it gets mentioned quite a lot. Then episode 17, you got Lake Laogai, which obviously Jet comes back and things happen. Episode 18, the Earth King. As I said, the Earth King is in the script in this story quite a lot, because it's based in the Earth Kingdom, which is basically Ba Sing Se. It's the biggest of the Earth Kingdom. There, I will come after I've gone through season 2, episode 6 and 7. I will talk a bit more about what I think. My take on the season, and how it might have, people might have, yeah, fair enough, it's gone quiet for now. Season 2, episode 6, The Parable of the Dragons. Now this is another episode that had a lot of episodes from the animations, all 3 seasons in it. They've hinted at it. I think I know where they're coming from with the Painted Lady, and it's quite really good. So here's the thing. Season 2, episode 6, The Parable of the Dragons, contains episode 7, Lake Laogai, episode 19, The Guru, episode 18, The Earth King, season 3, episode 3, The Painted Lady, season 1, episode 13, The Blue Spirit, season 1, episode 6, Imprisoned, episode 8, The Chase, episode 11, The Desert, episode 12 and 13, The Serpent's Pass and The Drill, and then episode 16, which is Appa's Lost Days. That was quite a big chunk that I can see where they're coming from. They could have done one more episode without cramming so much in, but I think timing was restraint, because whilst they were filming season 1 and whilst they were filming season 2 and season 3, you know, you had obviously Percy Jackson and the Olympians were filming starting filming season 3 of season 2 they were filming, and they finished, and then obviously season 3 they were filming season 3, so basically they were sharing the set, the volume stage. They were actually sets, they were literally, I'm going to say set cell, but they were literally sharing stuff like the sets and stuff, which is probably why they had time reframes on it, because one, like each day they was different, so that makes sense. The reason why the Guru and obviously they were arguing quite a lot. Appa's Lost Days was when they were arguing, so that's why I put it there, because they were arguing in those scenes in the desert. They were arguing, so yeah, that's why I put that in that episode and in previous episodes. Season 2, episode 7, Something Broken. Now that was one of them. Like, I couldn't watch anything for the last few days because I had this roaring headache. So, season 2, episode 7, Something Broken, it involves only 5 episodes from the whole of season 2 of the animation, which is the Guru, episode 19, The Guru, episode 20, The Crossroads of Destiny, Episode 14, City and Secrets. Episode 16, Appa's Lost Days. And episode 17, Lake Laogai. And I loved how they entwined it, and they added scenes from those episodes into there. Obviously, he gets ATLA back after he's freed Appa. I actually liked it that Aang rescued Appa. Or Appa. I'm English, I'm British, don't judge. Whereas it was Zuko in the animation, and I think that really sets off a lot of changes that could happen in the first episode, which I will get onto another other video. I will point out that out of 20 episodes from the animation, only one got cut. They didn't cut that many. Episode 4 from the animation, when I watched it, I'm like, this was just a filler episode. It didn't make sense for the storyline, it didn't flow for the plot, so it just was a filler episode, which they do in animation. Most episodes from the animation were actually filler episodes, but that said, I think some of the episodes that we lost in season 1 will be in season 3, and the same with episode 4 will be in season 3. Where I do not know, because obviously roughly the storyline, but I'm trying to at the moment wrote down the names of the titles of the episodes, and then I've wrote down what episodes might be in that. I need to re-watch. I know that the 8 minutes is going to be the raid. So basically, I think that's going to be in episode 2. Black Sun. Day of Black Sun, there you go. And that is going to be in episode 2. Definitely in episode 2. Spirits of All Nations. Don't know. Ghost of the Old World. I need to rewatch season 3, which I'll be watching after season 1 again of the live action. And then I'm watching Percy Jackson as well. So yeah, and then packing. But yeah, all I'm going to say, and I will be doing a prediction video, but just I think there's only 2 episodes from season 3 of the animation in that first episode of season 3, and it's the Awakening and the Headband. And then I think they've put the Avatar state will be in there, and also the Deserter from episode 16, which we'll understand, because obviously that is a vital storyline of where Aang is. But that's what I think at the moment. I've only done episode 1 of season 3 and predictions. Overall, season 2, I would give it probably a 9 out of 10, purely because it's one up from season 1. Definitely one up from season 1. I didn't I loved that Katara was trying to make a joke, and I loved some of the changes, but I think the script let it down. Some of the script was fine, bringing some of the famous certain scenes from the animation back in. It was important to do, but to have a bit of a backstory to know like what actually happens. I think people just got annoyed because when it was Zuko alone episode, I think because that was purely his episode, this was just snippets of what he went on, and I'm like, people would moan if you were watching an hour of Zuko being alone, you know. The actors have done really well. I loved how that particular season 2 episode 2 had a lot of storytelling from the original animation, which is quite good. And if you want me to do a brief episode by episode video of what episodes were in each episode rather than this short one, because then I can go a bit more into it, I'm happy to do that. I just need to get a new notebook. But overall, I enjoyed it. Only episode 4 from the animation wasn't in the live action, so that's episode 4 of season 2 of the animation was not in the live action, so I predict that will be in season 3, which obviously the last episode will have all 4 episodes from so it'll have, I think, if I get this right, see episodes 18, 19, 20 and 21 will all be in the last episode of season 3, episode 7. And then I'm going to do filler days, because I think that's the main important ones. So I will be going back, working out, and I think we're going to get a lot of Katang moments in season 3. So there was so many moments that people might have missed because they were not reading into it. I do deep dives into these sort of things. That's why it takes about half hour for each. But yeah, I will be doing predictions for season 3. I'll go work out how many episodes, what parts, and I'll be splitting it up. So if you would like to follow me and watch my videos, please, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and Threads, at Daughter of Poseidon 1290, or you can find me on Google, Christine L. Saunders. Happy Wednesday. Bye.